that went horribly for them, and for a history of underperforming when the pressure is highest, can they finally step it up in a grand finals and give contest to PARIVISION?
Very tall order ahead of them. Very tall, some might say. Though, this team does have a record of performing with a stand-in when it matters most. They have that on their side. And they had the benefit of learning from that upper bracket match.
We're going to start things off with an early Pudge hook. Night Class not going to be able to get first blood for the team, but already showing that you got to be scared of the Pudge in this one.
This hero is a real pick. We have seen 9 Class do serious work on it. Is a hero that can displace fights, ruin positioning, and I feel like that has been the bane of BetBoom a lot this tournament. This team does not play well when their formation gets broken. We saw it in the upper bracket match as well, versus particularly the No One Magnus in the game 2, the Brewmaster on the backline. I feel like that draft was one of the biggest outdrafts we've seen for BetBoom, and they did not react well to it at all. So here, they got to start stepping up, especially early on in the series, to find your footing and try and take away some of the picks for PARIVISION that have just been doing insane work for them.
Kiritich already taken 2 hooks to the face. Do you agree with Jenkins that Pudge is a bad hero?
No.
9 Class is just a good player, or do you actually think this hero has viability outside of PARIVISION?
I don't think this hero's that bad. In fact,
he's blocked in by the creeps. He's going to have to Fortune's End to try and keep DM and 9 Class off of him, but it looks like he's just going to get run down.
Yeah, he's dead. This is going to be Flesh Heap, first blood.
3-0 on the hooks. The Fairy Fire goes off DM. Oh, nice tree plant. But he still hits the hook. 4-0 for the 9 Class Pudge. It seems that his previous performance on Pudge was not an outlier.
And just like that, you gave him an early boots if he wants it. This is a nasty hero in terms of what it can do to your mentality. You start getting hooked in the game, you feel like there's nowhere to run. There's nothing you can do. You're just getting outplayed. It's not a draft issue. It's a skill issue. Do you even belong here? Are you even supposed to be in this series at all? And we're 1 minute in.
Psychological damage is immense. I don't remember who said it in the green room, but I totally agreed when they predicted they're probably going to play Pudge in the grand finals, and they're probably going to pick it up game 1. Because if you're PARIVISION, you're coming into this with so much momentum. Why not take it in game 1?
If you're going to pick Pudge in a grand final, you pick it game 1.
A la Wings. Na'Vi, Wings. Plenty of teams have done it, and it's worked out for all of them, even if the game itself didn't work. Maybe it has something to do with psychological damage.
It's the confidence, right? If you're a team willing to pick Pudge in a grand final in game 1 or game 2, it just says you're extremely confident going into the series, and it likely means you're going to have a psychological edge overall. Now, you might not win that Pudge game because it is Pudge, but yeah, I feel like most of the time it works out. I will say I kind of like the starter pick. Not because I think this hero is broken or anything, or that GBK is going to run this game over. I think it is a mixed bag. You're going up against the Sven armor, Chen armor. Pudge can, if he gets utility items, he can buy Lotus Orb, he can buy some of these annoying items. But this should be a matchup in a lane that goes well for GBK. It's a hero that puts a decent amount of pressure on Ember Spirit because he doesn't get an early armor item or a super early Dispel item, particularly if he wants a Mage Slayer buildup. And it is a hero that I feel like it's just slightly outside the box, and I think that's a good sign going into game 1. Like, just pick something a little different, get the ball rolling. It has some okay-ish synergy here with Tiny putting in the physical damage. Even the Wind Ranger Slaughter is always good. You have to support, but this Focus Fire can still do a lot of damage in the right situation.
We heard in lower bracket final, Suns fan extolling the virtues of GPK and commenting how he feels like this guy has rounded a corner when it comes to his play, in particular throwing games. Would you agree with that?
I mean, Suns fan is a one-of-a-kind Dota2 caster, some might say. I don't know what his fixation on GPK is.
He really likes it.
I don't know if we'll ever know why he has such a fixation. I feel like it's been some time since we've seen GPK throw games.
Yeah.
I think he's just consistent now. I've always rated this guy pretty highly in terms of skill. I think BetBoom's problems have honestly lied elsewhere. If you look at the matchups they've gone down against in this tournament.
Yeah. Like what?
I think the drafts have been a little on the weaker side. I think their support picks in particular are very hit or miss in terms of it's a high reward, high risk. Like when you pick double single target supports that can't push waves.
A sneaky hook from 9 class set up by the Chains. GPK was winning this lane, and the Pudge will push the scales the other direction.
I mean, Chains guaranteed setup. This is the downside of the melee hero in mid. That Pudge roam is guaranteed. He's going to get some stacks. That's going to give no one.
They're going to get a second, third kill out of this one.
Well, if your idea was to come in and win lanes, that idea is already gone.
Yep.
Because you are now losing 3 lanes effectively.
And DM didn't get punished at all. If anything, it's now going to be Kiritich who gets punished as the Pudge comes back in a lane. They are going to get really good Fortune's End over that Avalanche. That purges out the Ion Shells, but Kiritich can't stand the heat that 9 class is bringing into this grand finals already.
So much of this is you gave that Pudge first blood. He gets boots. He can make these plays around the map.
Got the shackles on him. Hit him with the stomp. Oh, overlapping the stuns. A little ugly there from
Power shot will kill him.
Save.
You want to go for it.
He needs to land it. He's going to go outside of vision to see if he can land it. Ooh, Satanic, a back and forth. He was just patrolling. And
like
now he's still alive to hit the Stormhammer on Miro and help Tukalis finish him off.
This is such a nice start for Tukalis. I mean, you can say Satanic's getting a decent amount, but more important here is the levels on this Chen. He's already level 4.5. He has access to the small camp. He's about to be level 5 at
Got him again. 9 class, yet to miss a hook. He'll die for this, but well worth the trade-off as GPK falls again in the mid lane. Can't even get his 6. When he was having that little 1v1 against the Ember Spirit, he was still level 5, and the Ember level 6, all because of this Pudge.
I mean, I wish I had this Pudge in my pub games, I'll tell you that.
True.
This is the Pudge everybody thinks they're going to be when they pick the hero. And it is not the Pudge they are when the gameplay comes through. But right now,
you guys listening at home right now, thinking after this grand finals you might queue up some pubs, this ain't you. This ain't you. You don't got what it takes.
Don't tell them that. Maybe they do. There could be there could be a 10 class out there. You don't know.
Let's just look at the overall net good for the world. It's better to discourage all of them not to play Pudge.
So you think 9 classes
and to inhibit 10 classes career?
9 classes winning his team this series, but losing the world on a moral level.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. Has there been a player who has done so much damage to the scene as 9 class in recent history? Probably not.
Probably not. Not in the modern age of Dota, no.
There's no way. I mean, he's #1 public enemy. Who's even up there? Dendy Pudge? He was too good of a, he was too good of a person.
That's true.
His Pudge wasn't even toxic.
He offsetted all the terrible things that he did by getting people to pick Pudge, by also just being a good role model.
That's not what I implied there. Just saying. Everybody loved Dendy. So when he picked Pudge, it was like, awesome, wasn't, you're ruining my games. This is a nice start for PARIVISION. This is really nice. It goes without saying. And you're playing a Darkseer lineup with 2 melee cores who have insane synergy with the Shell Surge here. This game can speed up really fast.
Here comes 9 class. Here comes DM. Here comes a guaranteed hook. As he's going to wait to the last... Okay, he got power shotted down. Never mind. BetBoom bring all their heroes into this bottom water rune matchup. And they clean house, man. They just took 2 heroes out of the equation. Sure, you got saved. Congratulations. But they're going to get 3 heroes out of this one. The Chen and perhaps some of his army, too. I mean, look at everybody that Kiritich walked down the river just to be able to join in on this.
A nice rotation from him. You need numbers in these early games. Need to swing the lanes back to your favor. And could see a hook come out here on Miro. See if he can put Satanic in between him, but Satanic might just kill him straight up. Okay,
just gonna finish him off that way. Nice try with the power shot. It hits this time around, but not enough damage.
Save getting a little taste of his own medicine. Pudge player himself.
True.
Maybe we'll see him pick it up after this game. Pudge could become the most contested hero of the series.
There ain't no way.
It's possible. Still, that was a great turnaround fight for BetBoom. You got to play around Slardar in this game. He's so much to your early team fighting, so much to your damage. But there's still a concern with how many levels the PARIVISION support duo found here and the damage they can do around the map once this Chen starts to farm up, once he starts to heat up, pressure some towers, give him the ores in the fight. Like, this is a dream start for this kind of lineup because you don't have to be ahead here. You just have to stabilize the game and get to your first 1 or 2 items on the Darkseer Chen, and you're going to be unkillable. We've seen it before. Like, what happens when you bring Ice Armor into the equation? What happens when you bring Purges or Lotus Orbs or Armor items into the equation? The damage for BetBoom is going to go down significantly. You have Sven Armor on top of all of this. There's a ridiculous amount of EHP built into this PARIVISION lineup, and we saw it with their Chen yesterday with that Undying. Something very similar can happen here. So if you're BetBoom, you need to get as much out of this Slardar amp in the first 20 minutes as you can. And you get hooked again.
Try to get him away from the shield rune, but it's picked up anyway by GPK. He's in good fighting shape, but does he feel like he can chase down any heroes? Doesn't seem like it. PARIVISION and BetBoom. Again, 4 heroes into the mid lane. They are not being shy about just brawling in the middle part of the map.
I do like their emphasis on bringing the numbers to these middle skirmishes. But the downside for BetBoom while all this is happening is you are giving Satanic free farm. So if you're not finding something in these trades, you're bringing the tiny mid, whereas PARIVISION are not bringing this Sven. And he's going to start to pull ahead here. Could potentially have a lot of stacks built up for him eventually as well, though a lot of the early stacks did get claimed from the Darkseer. But this is kind of a Centaur who's just been left to the wolves. 0-2-0 start for Miro up here. Not a lot of pressure going into this Sven. Not a lot of gameplay around the Centaur. This is not a hero that is going to scale tremendously in this game.
But the time has finally come. We're probably going to dissolve this 4 versus 4 mid lane matchup now that GPK's got a Blink Dagger. I assume you want them to head for the Sven, or do you feel like helping out the Tiny and killing that Darkseer is a better option?
Nah, it's way too hard to go with Darkseer here. You are either bringing the gank mid, if you believe you can chain the lockdown and kill this Ember into the tower, or you're kicking heroes out of top and hitting that tower. Those are your 2 plays here with this Slardar early.
Well, a maxed out return on Miro. Maybe they feel it's better just to head for the mid lane again and let Miro just farm up neutrals. I mean, GPK's here, but
you just need
you have the damage between the 2 of them.
Yeah, you need all the lockdown is the problem. It's not all the damage, you need stuns for a long enough duration to kill this guy. And Shackle is kind of enough if you can land it.
He can precast Fortune's End on the Slardar when he blinks it. Okay, didn't go for that. Oh, the hook separates the 2. The Shackle shot missed. Everything goes wrong for BetBoom on their first play with the Blink Dagger on GPK. They do manage to get off the false promise to see if Katomi has healed him enough. Very likely he has. He stays alive, but Katomi does end up getting run down by DM in the end.
We saw this in the series yesterday. PARIVISION will bring the numbers mid. They will always back up no one. That's why you have to overwhelm on this play. And the second that Shackle doesn't land, you're screwed. Lucky to get out with everybody there as Blade Mail arrived for no one right as that sequence is happening. This is a nice build-up for this game because this is the pseudo-armor item instead of the Mage Slayer. It's going to help you tank against the armor. It's going to reflect a lot of the early game damage, give you time to survive, give you time for heals to go out. Obnoxious item for BetBoom to play into. And that was your Blink Slardar move that was supposed to yield you some momentum in this game. Instead, you lost your mid tower off that because the Chen can come in, give you the counter game potential. And now you're really far behind because this move also did not go into the Sven. And we are seeing Satanic's net worth. He's almost 2K ahead of your Tiny. Yeah. One of these cleaves is not like the other.
No, and with recent nerfs to carry Tiny as well, that's going to slow the hero down.
I mean, look at the level difference between these 2 carries. Level 11.5 Sven versus 8.
It's just playing inside of their jungle area, and they can't even feel like they can go after him. He very easily gets back to his side of the river. That is going to be another smoke gone wrong.
This is where the support duos for BetBoom are just very hit or miss. Right? If you can nab some of these kills, you're going to be okay going in the mid game. But if you don't, PARIVISION supports will outfarm you every time. They don't have to make plays. This Chen is not pressured to go gank someone on the map. He's just farming. He's pushing lanes. He's hitting towers. He's getting fat. He's going to scale the whole lineup up. We're already seeing that net worth disparity open up between the 2 support duos. This is why there's so much pressure on BetBoom to look for these kills because their supports are not getting anything off the map unless cores are falling.
Yeah,
especially with an Urn on save early. You need charges for this guy.
At some point, the team synergy of PARIVISION and the net worth disparity between the 2 teams will result in, no matter how good the initiation is for BetBoom, it won't be enough to break PARIVISION and all the armor and all the utility and auras that they have. It's rough. It's rough right now. 6,000 lead for PARIVISION. Not too many people expected anything different.
But it's an okay position. If you can get the team fights going, you can absolutely swing this pretty quickly, especially if you get a Roshan off the starter line.
He's got the angle on him. Wait. They went for the Oracle at the same time, and 9 class, can he still get... Oh, he's going to wait for the slide chains. Can no one hit the slide chains? Is he in range to do so? Got slide chains into the hook. There it goes. Got the dismember off of it. They just play so well around each other, diving into the tier 3s. And the punish, very minimal. In fact, if anything, Kiritich got to be a little careful. Stampede does go off. A little bit grouped up, but pulled back into the vacuum. Kiritich cut down. Satanic already online as this Sven, Mask of Madness, Blink Dagger, Echo Saber, level 13.
This is such a fast timing for this Blink to come online, and you can play aggressive here because you have the Darkseer to back you up. You have Hand of God. You have the auras. You get another tower off this Chen. Ducal is just mowing through this map. Every time you win a little fight, he gives you another 1K net worth off of it. And you're just going to have to go back here. You're going to have to D-ward. You do get the obs. But the game plan is not going to change here. You got to continue to try and find some openings with this Slardar. He's your only playmaker. No blink on the Centaur. It's fine. Helps you in the team fight. As long as you can start the team fight on good terms. And maybe take some tier 1s in this game. I mean, all 3 tier 1s up for PARIVISION.
Yeah. It's part of why they are 8,000 net worth behind. GPK, Katomi, and Save, the trio. 2 supports moving around with the Slardar. Not finding anything for it, though. GPK, man, he really all-in on initiation. Blink Dagger into buying out his shard.
Why can't we be friends?
Big committal. A very strong message saying, I'm going to find kills in this game. And if you don't, you're going to get out-farmed here. Scan goes out on Roche. Interesting. I mean, that's a Radiant scan.
Yeah, if you're so far behind, you feel like you have so little map presence that you think that this lineup that really doesn't have the greatest Roche taking potential is doing it at 17 minutes. It says a lot. Managed to get the crush into Shackles,
nice
into the Fortune's End, and a bash to follow it up. They got the kill.
That's huge.
Now, the Slardar is going to be... Oh, no! The vacuum grabbed Katomi right as he was trying to help out GPK here. GPK still has a chance to be able to blink out of danger. TP away, and he stuns.
Oh, nice spot.
Oh, the hook comes a little bit too late from 9 class.
Just hook Ducal over. Give him a high five, but there's that chain stun potential. No one not expecting it. Gets caught off guard by the last tree throw.
Did Chen have his ult? Because he easily would have lived with just a little bit of a bumper there.
I think he did, but I also think he expected him to remnant out of there. Like, there were little gaps. I think it's more... thinking no one is going to live than he needed to pop it. Big pickup in this game, though. Just momentum-wise. Gives you the confidence to go for a little more here, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to look for the play down mid.
Try it again.
Power rune for no one. He's getting baited into the river.
Recast in the Fortune's End. It's going to shoot out. GPK not finding the opening to blink on it.
You would have liked that amp damage in his bottle as well. Would have given you a lot more damage thrown to the starter to look for the pickoff. If you can't get the kills, you're not going to get the towers in this game. The one thing the Pudge does is he makes pushing these tier 1s casually pretty scary. There's a reason these towers are still all high HP. You can't just sit here and tank it with Centaur and dare Pari to go on you. You're just going to get hooked behind the tier 1. The fight's terrible.
Yeah.
So you have to win the fight to get the towers here. That is the Pudge effect.
Satanic over 3,000 net worth ahead of this Tiny.
Yeah, his BKB is done. It's flying out right now. This gives you confidence to just do Roche here. With this Sven BKB, you already have Greaves on the Darkseer as well.
Yeah. It also makes this Crimson Guard of the Centaurs look pretty pitiful. Well, BetBoom was right to be worried about Roshan. Satanic is indeed so farmed that they can do it pretty quickly. BetBoom not going to be in position to contest. will just push out the other lanes, complete their S and Y for the Tiny.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Try to get to Blink Dagger on the Centaur.
At least they get a tier 1 in this game. That is worth something, but not the trade-off they were hoping for. As that ward on Dire's secret shop was also scouting them on that play bottom. BetBoom lingering around this area for a while, but not aware that they're just being scouted the entire time.
Yeah, Satanic, he's not going to get picked. This is a bait.
I mean, there's no way you can go for that play anyway.
That guy's way too tanky. And they do not have the stuns to deal with the BKB, that's for sure. Going after the Centaur. It's going to take a while to bring him down. And he also still has Lotuses and Stampedes, so they could definitely back this up. PARIVISION, they just kind of have a poke at him. They force some rotations. They back away. They're going to do Tormentor.
Objectives just keep rolling. I mean, this is Chen in a nutshell. The onus is on you to do something about it, or he just extracts gold continually from the map. A little shard for the Pudge.
Dire's middle tower is
Why
under
not?
attack.
Not as good as the old one, but some decent damage.
They did the Tormentor and the Tiny on the other side of the map. Granted, they can come through the gate and everything, but they pop Stampede to try and get Kiritich out of there. Which, I mean, it worked, but...
Oh, they
Dire's middle tower
They
is
smoke
under
back here,
attack.
but this is on another OBS. These wards have just been absolutely on point. They're ruining every setup play that BetBoom were trying to go for.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because it's not like they have supports that are really good at getting on the enemy side of the map and sneaking in wards everywhere.
It's just the Pudge.
They've got a Chen Pudge.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. We'll take
They're
the
going to
fight
jump on
anyway.
Satanic. They baited this out. They get the hooks, taking
they're
hook, but he's still
shackled.
shackled up. They almost finish him off. They're trying to now, but the BKB God Strength goes out, and it all goes wrong for BetBoom. As soon as that is cast, it's done. They run out of damage, and they will scurry back to the base if they can. Satanic not slowing down for a second here. One save as well.
Why
a
would he?
triple for him. Back to the tier 2.
Ah, that was so close to being amazing, but that hook makes them run in deeper. It does hook him into the shackle, which was pretty unfortunate for Pari. Sick play from Save. This is just a hard go. Don't get hits in with the Tiny here. That's what makes the difference.
Fantastic vacuum from DM.
Oh, yeah.
Grab those 3 cores as well.
The thing is, you still have a lot of heal here, right? Like, you throw in the Hand of God, you throw in the Greaves. The Sven is not as low as he looks.
Yeah.
And the second he pops BKB, there's no damage going into him anymore.
He's got so much armor. The Chen regen starts kicking in.
Poor man shield on top of all that.
Yep.
It looked promising, but it went oh so wrong. And now you're down 13K. A lot of that on the Satanic Sven.
Another series with no Curios, by the way.
Oh, another great shackle. Can you finish the hero off?
Do you manage to get the Darks here? One down. Pushing after Dakalis.
It's a great
No
target.
one. He's trying to stop them as best he can. He's got the Aegis after all. It looks like he actually does manage to bail out Dakalis for now. GPK, Satanic on the side is going to pop his God Strength. They spot him, though. They're not going to be caught by this initially. The Tiny's going to try and challenge this Sven, make sure he doesn't get an initiation off here while GPK chases after kills. But he still blinks it, still blows up the Oracle. Casual 2-shot, gets his BKB off before the stomp and punishes Miro for daring to try and stop him. Now GPK caught in the river. He's not going anywhere. Chained up, hooked out. Satanic will find his 3rd kill of the fight. Stalled. He doesn't even... There it is. Triple kill. Finally going out.
Just routed.
Javen Kataomi's buyback for last year. No one will not give chase.
Cannot connect their cores on the right targets here, and the chase down takes so long. Just so much early tank on this Chen. Solar Crest already done. Solar Crest already done on the Pudge as well. These early utility items for the supports. Put some extra little evasion in there on top of the heal, on top of the barrier. It's brutal to try and get through.
I find it funny how, like, PARIVISION, they're winning the game, but every fight is BetBoom starting it and it going bad. PARIVISION are so good at just, like, suffocating BetBoom and saying, hey, you got to take this initiation.
Because they
Otherwise,
know
you're
they're
getting
getting
out-farmed.
They know they're getting outscaled in this game.
Yeah.
They know they're getting out-farmed on the map. They know they're losing objectives. And their lineup only does one thing, which is jump on people and kill them. And when you can't do that, as we've seen, the game is very frustrating.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Denied. A TP stops. Kiritich. Can anybody save him here? Not a chance. Not with Daedalus up on Satanic.
Absolutely no chance. I don't know how you deal with this guy right now. He is 12-0.
That is Stampede used.
You're going to go high ground with this. Or they're just going to completely run you off the map.
The remaining God Strength halfway through the duration. Satanic sets his sights.
Look at the auras on this guy. It's just stupid.
Yeah, they're going off the chart here.
It's just straight stupid. The amount of buffs he has.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And BetBoom will not contest. This is going to be one lane of barracks. Can PARIVISION make it two? Or are they just going to back out with God Strength now on cooldown?
Oh, they're just going to chill. 40 seconds for that ult. It's not a big downtime here. You can always just wait for next Roche too, if you really want to secure this game.
Oh, yeah. GPK is about to get an item. I don't know if any one item can save his game, but it's an Aghanim Scepter. Problem is, in the game of tank versus tank, I do not think you beat PARIVISION. You're not going to outlast them.
I mean,
There's Crimson Guard,
what
the
else is he
Aghanim
supposed to
Scepter.
buy, though? Like, the armor is good here.
Oh, yeah. No, I think it's the right item. I'm just saying I don't know
Oh,
how
my.
impactful it's going to be.
No one just remnants it and then breaks the
Oh, man.
Of course, there's a ward there, too.
Yep.
There goes your Roche contest. Now you're going to have to fight this on top of this ward as well. 9 class sees you. He wants you. He hooks you.
They're going to get the jump on a 9 class first, though. Easy little pickup, perhaps.
Is it that easy?
Oh, God. The chains on the 2 supports and the vacuum. It got them both locked in. Satanic now finally closes ranks with his 9 class support here, trying to help him out. He's actually taking a good amount of damage here.
He's losing the fight.
He's going to wear out. Yeah, he's going to lose this fight. Stomp hits on 2. Miro. Good setup there. Kiritich. Oh, trying to run him down with the Ion Shell. DM managed to do so. Miro. Looks like even without Satanic, no lacking in damage for PARIVISION, as no one will do his best to clean up the rest of this fight. It's slight, though. Blink away just in the nick of time by Miro. Starts running down the river. But he is heading nowhere fast at this point.
I mean, we see the tip come out. I think that's the tip of how did you die, bro? How do you die in this game with this spend? I'll tell you how he crit into that blade mail on the Centaur. That took half his life pool instantly. And then you got crushed with Amp, and Tiny finally is able to connect on you. Surprise amount of burst damage coming out right there. Still not a fight you can win. That's the sad part. And, I mean, Save's laughing off because they know, like, they jump this Pudge, and they cannot kill the Pudge.
Yeah.
There's too many auras in this lineup.
They got 2,200 team gold off of that Satanic kill, though.
That's a one team fight right there.
That's right.
We'll ignore the no one triple kill. You know, that's not as relevant here.
Yeah, who cares about that? Those are all small numbers. We only care about big numbers. If it's not 4 digits, I'm not paying attention to it. How many new armor items do we have? We've got the Shivas, Lotus Orb, almost done for DM. So that's going to be fun for BetBoom to deal with.
Itemization here for Pari is just, it's so straightforward because there is only one type of damage source in this lineup.
I mean, on the upside, the Lotus Orb doesn't really do that much as soon as you get 25 on Sardar, so...
Oh, yeah, that's a really good point, Austin.
He's just 9 levels away.
Definitely going to hit the 25 on Slardar here before something really bad happens to them.
And that bad thing is coming very soon.
Yeah, it's a very bad man here. With a lot of damage, a lot of auras, and a lot of HP to work with, as long as you don't kill yourself on the blade mail. BetBoom want to take the fight on the high ground ward, try and
Oh, no, he
something.
spoils another initiation. And now Satanic's like, well, he got GPK in a corner. Good shackle shot, though.
Maybe
they go
get
after
the
no
Ember?
one. Might be able to kill him here. Toss up in the air is not quite enough. And a vacuum almost put them on the cliff. Not quite, though. Kirich has got to get out of here. They already used the false promise. Maybe they have to leave the Centaur behind. Another great shackle shot. Sage is keeping the Sven back as best as he can. Another hook back on Amiro, and Satanic goes for a different initiation. Goes after the Oracle once again. Ghost Scepter's going to bail him out a little bit here, and finally gets his hands on the Wind Ranger, cuts both him and GP down pretty quickly. That is going to be a very one-sided GG call.
Oh, yeah.
Before the 30-minute mark, we close out the first game of this series.
I just looked like the upper bracket final.
I'd have been outdone by PARIVISION and their twist, a Mars carry and a Drow Ranger mid, Avery.
That's a very interesting switch up, and maybe not one BetBoom 100% expected, but they had to have it in the back of their mind. Like, you pull out this Huskar, you combine it with an Oracle, it's an extremely strong duo, so you have to expect the enemy to try and upset the momentum in any way they can and not just feed into your game plan. You don't want to just send some hero mid that gets destroyed and this duo runs you over in the game. So you still have to respect the team fight these two heroes bring. Anytime you can land the false promise on the Huskar, it's going to be a lot of damage. You're just going to have to take it on somebody unless you're, bursting these heroes down. Though I guess they did go back for this Brewmaster, which we've seen be a huge disruptor, particularly between these two teams in terms of bringing that Oracle into the air, tossing an Axe into the air, tossing a Huskar into the air. Like, you can cause a lot of problems here. This
Purging
arena,
out the heals.
of course, the Purge is super nice. The arena can cause some area control issues as well, so positioning is going to have to be on point here for BetBoom, but I think this draft looks a lot better than game one. They have more play options, they have more ways to scale and take fights as this game progresses, and they're not all in on this laning phase.
Now, I think Effie had a very good suggestion about the Drow Ranger mid, the vantage point facet perhaps being something that could be very potent against the Huskar mid. Unfortunately, we are not going to see that in action in this game. No one's still opting for the sidestep facet where you're able to move during the multi-shot, so won't see exactly that, but I mean, still, Drow Ranger is still a good answer to Huskar in multiple ways, right? Not just the laning phase.
It's a hero that outranges you. It's a hero that kites you in the fight. You can always go for this Ags later, reduce the regen. It's a super nice matchup. It's also a hero that can lane this and not get completely abused in the matchup.
Yeah.
9 class is going to stick around just to make the level 1 miserable for GPK.
That is annoying. All right, well, no one's going to
Dueling
start off with
mid-action.
early denies.
He's staying around here. They blocked the bottom wave into the tower, so DM's going to be fine down here 1v2. It's going to shoot out really quickly for this Brewmaster. 9 class can get away with this.
Yeah, there hasn't been a single Radiant creep that has died in this bottom lane yet, so this is entirely unpunished so far. And with the lane pushing in, yeah.
I wonder if their plan is just straight dueling this? I mean, it is something you could do versus Huskar, because in a situation where you end up being dragged into the 2-on-2, it's always worse for the Huskar team. You're now sapping his XP, and this is a hero that needs the solo levels. He wants a one-on-one to abuse an enemy. If I'm Kataomi, I don't want to be here right now. Maybe you feel like you have to, but you do not want to, as you're just making GPK's game worse.
Dude, if PARIVISION somehow seems to make a dual lane mids meta again, like, what can't this team do? They're just all over the place. They're setting the meta constantly.
I don't know. If I'm BetBoom, I do not like this lane setup right now.
Telekinesis toss back. GPK is just going to get mowed down. There was so much more damage in the tank. He died from the first round of multi-shot, and there was still plenty more rounds to go.
They hit the level 2 first. D-ward on the obs from 9 class gives you extra XP on this lane.
And the Brewmaster is having a great time. He's
Yeah.
going to be playing against Lycan. I can't imagine this lane is a problem whatsoever. Melee on melee
No, it's
for
fine.
Brewmaster is very rarely bad. So
Totally fine for him, especially when he gets haze points up. This is going to be a lot of solo XP for DM. He is loving this. It's like an offlaner's dream. I just get a one-on-one, no pressure. Easy for him.
our most normal lane still has a bit of a hitch to it, but it is the Shadow Shaman Axe lane versus the Undying Mars. Of course, the carry Mars is going to be something a bit unique. Did go for the Victory Feast facet, which we've seen that once or twice from some of the off-lane Mars. And I guess it's more fitting for carry.
This hero hits hard. You go with the Deso build-up, something like that. These Gods Rebukes hurt. They're going to drop
The tombstone, going for all in for the kill onto Save, but Dakalis might be the one to die first. Got the spin on him. That's going to be the first death, and Save isn't done yet. He managed to get the extra hit onto Satanic, and now Satanic slowed down to a crawl. Miro's just getting constant spins.
Damn. Not an early trade I thought was going to work out for BetBoom up here. This Undying should be really strong on this lane versus the Axe in particular. They just wore through his HP pool.
Yeah, but they were so focused on hitting a Shadow Shaman that the Axe kind of got a free lane.
Still, that whole time, we saw 9 class continuing to harass GPK, who just went jungle. But
He's jungling
he is
already?
not jungling anything. He's just walking around,
Oh,
wondering
no.
what he's supposed to do with his life right now.
I mean, was there a situation where you were supposed to
Oracle
lane
mid.
swap? Were you supposed to put the Huskar bottom against the Brewmaster?
So there's a couple reasons why there wasn't a good response here. One of them is your 5 is an Oracle, and this is not a hero that could have 1v2'd the Brewmaster with the Lycan unless you stop that wave block from happening.
Right.
He's just not that good at it. I think it was still your better option,
Are fortified.
but it was not.
Nice
Very
call.
tempting.
The Undying. Tons of damage, and with the creep still hitting onto Miro. Can he get one last spin? One more last hit
Dies,
is
though.
all it takes. It is a trade-off there. Satanic. Big damage from that God's Rebuke. More than I expected, that's for sure.
It's not worth it for Miro. He gave up a 3x streak. I mean, he's the guy having the best game here. So he needs to continue to have a really good game. And he is in a solid position. And he should finish up the Vanguard. He'll come back to lane full HP with the Vanguard. Pretty scary for this double melee lane to continue playing, dude. But BetBoom need to continue having this lane go well for them. Because their mid laner does not exist right now. Well, I guess it's Kataomi.
Yeah, it's Kataomi.
He's doing great.
Maybe he'll go an Aghanim's Oracle. He's super sick.
This is, well, I don't know. It feels like my pub being griefed. I have Jungle Huskar right now.
Okay, what if they were supposed to move their supports around? What if Save was supposed to be helping, at least there would be kill threat on the Rubik when he's playing in the jungle or something?
No, you cannot abandon this Axe top.
Well, you can't now. He's got Vanguard, right?
You still want to play through this guy, though.
Okay.
Like, this is your one winning lane. The Lycan you can leave in a one-on-one. It is a hero that can use the solo XP well. And he's not going to get pressured in the brew. This is just rough. This is really rough. And
my
if you die
God.
here,
If 9 class catches him.
he's going to die. You just know. Oh my, he actually backed out.
I can't believe 9 class backed away.
Is this where you're reporting right now? Yeah.
GPK, for sure.
This is where you had 2 mid laners. One of them has to go jungle.
Yeah, it really does look like Kataomi's griefing him, yeah.
Death tax.
The support got mad.
Dire's top
He
tower
right-click
is
followed
under
him into the
attack.
mid lane. The Huskar is now jungling as a result.
He is a very efficient jungler. If you don't get bothered, it's not that bad of an economic trade-off.
I mean, Save himself was the one who was pioneering that 4-position Huskar, what was it,
true.
2 years ago?
That's true, yeah.
So,
They know. They know how to play like this.
exactly. Save's probably getting pointers from the off lane where he's still battling it out against the Mars. Going for a bit of a dive here. Dakalis is going to join in.
All right, bringing 3 heroes for the Oracle mid. Felt like they had to do something about this.
I mean, how do you kill this guy? Just Fate's Edict himself.
Invis. There's a sentry down, though.
There he goes. Fate's Edict on the Drow Ranger to disarm him. Nice body blocking by 9 class. Guarantees the kill.
They got the mid Oracle.
They got him.
Got Naomi. You need to up your laning prowess here.
And that
Not
means
dodging the ganks properly.
he is now 2 levels down on the mid Drow Ranger. I don't know what Kataomi said, but any all chatting after that situation is kind of
I'm
fun.
sure it was something in the vein of, I'm not even a mid. Why are you ganking? I'm a support player. Yeah.
3-man gank for Oracle.
Yeah, 3-man for 5 position mid. Good move. Wisdom Shrines gets split. I honestly think this is an incredibly weird game, but not that bad for BetBoom somehow.
Kiritich, you're going to have to drop the ultimate here. They do have the Oracle. The Fortune's End was not placed onto Kiritich, so
He's going to get control here.
Satanic coming in from behind is going to catch him inside the arena, put a fence around the dog, and he has no way out.
Yeah, now it's getting bad. It's one thing to try and survive this laning phase. Yeah, maybe you're okay with the Huskar being a little behind as long as he can jungle, but now he solo died to no one in that jungle.
Yeah,
the deep warding. And you get this Mars rotation straight into the Lycan ult. This early game is just falling apart right now.
What do the chances are where he was sitting on like 50 HP and he got multi-shotted outside of his range?
He was very low HP. And he got brought down very quickly, and now you're just losing tier 1s. Bottom tower going down to this catapult push. Mid tower going down to the Drow. There's nobody in this lane. Your only saving grace in this game is the Miro Axe. I mean, that is it. This guy is going to have to make something crazy happen.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And they're rotating to relieve some of the pressure on the tower.
The warding game has also just been completely towards PARIVISION.
Yeah, it has been uncontested the entire way.
They got another D-ward top. There's one good obs on the map for BetBoom outside of that triangle one, which is this bottom lane. Doesn't see much either. They lost their ward on the gate. The wards from Pari are in great places to scout all these.
Heritage, he doesn't have shapeshift, so no one coming in from behind. Bad news, 100 movement speed. He is not going anywhere.
Just wants his helm. He will get it.
He
On
will.
A quick trip to the fountain. Not the way he wanted to. Just lane destruction. You remember that patch where everyone was playing the Huskar mid and I kept asking why doesn't anybody just dual lane this hero?
Yeah, you did.
You remember that, right?
Yeah.
This is why. I don't understand why more people didn't do this, because it completely destroys the entire hero's game plan. You can't duel it back, because even in that scenario, your Huskar ends up being behind XP. Like, Huskar's terrible in these 2-on-2s. He wants an isolated situation. So this was just such a smart game plan. PARIVISION completely ruined this pick. And now you are left scrambling to try and recover this game.
Yeah, the whole game is about to break open if PARIVISION successfully stop Miro from farming up his Blink Dagger. And it's looking like, with a 4-man rotation, Satanic catching 2 inside the arena. Bull support's already in trouble. Katomi's going to be forced away. Not that he even has False Promise. Miro is still a harder kill to get. 10 stick charges and a Vanguard, and almost going for the kill. And they got him. Purifying Flames into the Culling Blade secures the kill.
Oh, they might clean up here.
Meanwhile, coming in through the side with Curative. They chase down no one. It's a double kill for Miro. They thought they were killing the Axe, but the Axe was killing them.
This is exactly what you needed in this game. Play around the Axe, let him be the brunt of the initial contact, and get to work. With some nice burst damage coming out from this Oracle, lets you get those chops. Miro played it beautifully. I mean, he is really fat in this game. You gotta remember, so much of that lane's shenanigans and pressure went into making those other 2 lanes work for Pari, but they gave up this top lane, in essence. That Undying did not work out in the lane phase. And this is a really susceptible support duo to Lycan in this game. You have no control for him outside of this arena. He's gonna chomp on the Rubik Undying here if you can't get up some fast utility. Miro Blink Dagger done. Almost 7K net worth on this Axe. He's got some armor stacks. He's cooking here.
Yeah. And GPK will just be playing a quieter game, hitting the jungle. Now that he's got Armlet, this should be a lot more efficient than it was before. So we'll see whether or not, like 10 minutes from now, whether or not he's kind of caught back up to the rest of the course in the game. As Miro is going to be leading the charge at some point. Kind of needs his Blade Mail for full effectiveness of Axe. It may be small items, but he does kind of need all 4. Phase Boots, Blink, Vanguard.
Blade Mail's nice in this game for the Drow, plus even the Mars call. Because you're going to have to build physical damage here, Satanic. And if you ever put that Rebuke into the Axe, it's a lot of reflected damage when you have that Deso done.
For sure.
So he has 2 pretty good call targets in this game.
Speaking of Satanic, his build-up, Phase Boots, Armlet, considering Blink Dagger or Deso as the next item.
Could see either first. Depends on when you're trying to align all these.
Here comes the gank on DM, and they have plenty of disables to keep DM from being able to get off the Primal Split. He got halfway through the animation there, but Save really, he maximized the amount of disable time they had there on that kill, I guess.
Yeah, if only that was the other Croaker for Kiritich, could have stunned him there. But that was the Mage with the bubble.
Yeah.
Not the preferred spell. Choice that's there. But another pickoff for the Axe. Miro continues his reign of terror here around the map, and this is dragging the other two cores back in the game. It's recovery time for the Huskar. A little extra gold for this Lycan. Gotta continue to abuse these supports while you can.
He already has 9 charges of Coda Blood, which equates to 2.7 armor.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
2.7, that's like 3 buffs over 3 patches in Ice Frost territory.
That's like that's equivalent to the Void Spirit's passive when he's like
That's
level
right,
20.
yeah, that's true. That's his entire innate. Or like 3 years of buffs on Sand King. By 2028, he'll have caught up.
Come on, you can't say that when the Sand King was just meta.
Yeah, he had his month. I'll see him again in 2 years. Same with Omni Knight. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Omni Knight. You had a solid week.
It will always amaze me how fast they nerf some of these heroes compared to others. Like, they'll let Pango exist for a year, and they'll be like,
A year?
is he that?
Like
is he that
5
broken?
years.
Well, yeah, but every year they reevaluate it, you know?
I see.
But within a week, they'll send that Omniscience back to the graveyard. Like, get the hell back down there.
Somewhere in Valve headquarters, alarms are going off.
All right, there. He did opt for Blink first on this Mars. Tells you that Pari want to get a bit more active in this game. They want more initiation options. And they do have strong combos with the arena. You plant this arena down, throw down a Tombstone, steal a spell on Rubik, throw it in, plus Fade Bolt, plus multi-shot. Pretty nasty place for BetBoom to take a fight, particularly if the Lycan gets locked in the cage.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be too aggressive, though. I don't think this is a game where BetBoom are going to run into that until you have BKB on the Huskar. And you got to remember, even if this Huskar's game is really bad, he always has the false promise to give him a guaranteed teamfight presence.
Sure.
So this is a game you can play from behind on Huskar because you have the Oracle combo. This is not a, oh, we picked Huskar into Ember and we were banking on the lane being a crushing and it didn't work and now we're screwed. There's more to fall back on here. There's your big blade mail. This is where Axe really wants to find something.
From here on out, it should just be hunting season for Miro. Probably looking for kills a bit more actively. We got the 2 supports backing him up. 2 smokes ready to go.
Aetherline's already done for save too. He's finding more farm in this game. And this is one of the things that I think BetBoom have to step up in this series is you cannot play 2 sacrificial supports against PARIVISION.
Yeah.
Your team fight's just going to fall way too far behind. So you need at least one of these guys pushing some waves, getting some farm, scaling up. It will be the Shaman this game, and it's a good one. This instant Hex can be super powerful versus the Brewmaster, versus the Mars, who likely won't have BKB or defensive items for a long time. Good jump targets if you can find them around the map.
The call is backs away at the right time here as Miro shows up the lane. Still haven't used that smoke. Push out the top lane, get that going a little bit, and now they smoke away.
Yeah, there's
but
one
call
place
is
to
sticking
go.
around. He's just got to clear out that wave. This makes it really obvious that Miro is smoking.
Should be read by Pari, but this is going to hit around this tier 1 no matter what. There's limited options of where you're farming on this map right now.
If they're sneaky enough, is no one going to expect his triangle being invaded?
You might just take this support.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to take the Rubik kill.
Easy, quick, more stacks for the Axe here, especially with level 2 dunk going through.
And
Straight
with
in
Help of
tower.
the Overlord done for the Lycan, any one of these kills can just result into a fast tower push.
Or a fast Roshan.
Or both.
They're trying to get pretty greedy here. They're not even going to go for the kill top.
Yeah, they're doing 3 things at once. Kills and 2 objectives? That's crazy.
No response from PARIVISION, though. They're just going to give it all up.
Wow.
More stacks for the Axe. It's up to
Massive
6
win.
armor. This is a huge swing in this game. That felt too easy. Like, there should have been a contest on one of those things. Sure, you just finished your Brew Radiance.
But you have a carry Blink Dagger Mars, rather. Like, surely you want to get a little active with this guy.
That's what I would have thought. I would have thought they would have brought Satanic either in the mid for that or a Roche contest if they sniffed it out. Again, why buy the Blink on the Mars here if you're not looking for any action?
Aghanim Scepter
That's
done
very
for Drow
early.
Ranger is very nice against both the Oracle and the Huskar.
It's a very early Ags. Definitely do some work in this game.
Dire's middle tower is is under attack.
So we'll start seeing a bit of the buildup of damage, reducing your generation. But they're going to need to put together a really sick team fight. It's going to need Arena with Tombstone on the outside. Dota2 inside of it. BKB immediately goes out from GPK. He's going to try and chase him down, but Satanic is playing around the walls. Can't hit the spears as a result, and GPK will lose his first life. Kiritich tried to hit the backline there. Satanic got a little bit low. Lycan's not sure what to do here. His team is being run down. Who's he going to chase after? They don't want to fight it. Tombstone missed the call. Miro, he whiffs that one, immediately has to TP away. PARIVISION now have the advantage as Miro gets his TP canceled, and the Axe activates his Blade Mail, but will be chopped down by 9 Class, who stole the Cooling Blade. They'll get the Oracle as well. It's classic that PARIVISION somehow managed to make this fight work for them, baiting out bad BetBoom initiations.
How do you get Culling Blade, man? Such a weird spell to get.
Yep.
Didn't even get to chop a hero here if you're Miro. And it all starts with a really nice Arena. You force out the BKB super early from the Huskar. Your Lycan doesn't get a lot done on that back line. No real connection there for Kiritich.
I mean, the question for me is, was that BKB forced? He had the Aegis. He could have just been like, okay,
I think
they got me, I'll save the BKB for the second line.
I think it felt like he BKBs, he can maybe kill somebody there. Heroes are just too damn tanky.
I mean, especially against the Arena wall. It ruins these ranged heroes if you play around it well enough.
Not the fight they were looking for. And, I mean, some of that is you didn't get a clean initiation with this Axe. You got initiated upon going into that tier 2 area.
Yep.
Because this is a lineup you can drop snakes and use the Lycan summons to force action out of Pari, which in theory gives you a positional advantage in this game. So when you get caught off guard like that, it hurts you a lot more than normal.
BetBoom, and I would agree with them, I think they still think they have the advantage, and they're going to take Tormentor and dare PARIVISION to interrupt them up here. There is good vision in this area. PARIVISION just always ahead in the vision game, it feels like.
The warding has been really good in their run this tournament.
PARIVISION is going to play for a contest here. It does leave them 10 seconds until the Bruce split is back up. So not going to be here in time for the Tormentor, but might still be able to catch them on the way out as they smoke up, push forward. Mass TPs or gating away from BetBoom. Not going to be caught in this corner of the map, though.
Might gate after them. Yeah.
They might, but that means Kataomi should see this coming.
You're just not going to see him there? Okay.
I guess not. I mean, he's ready to Tumbler Toy down the cliff and does so now.
Successful Tormentor and Bale. Not a fight you wanted to take. That was level 2 Primal Split with that Radiance and the Deso newly done for Satanic there. That was a scary fight. Particularly if you get jumped by the Mars in a bad corner. And also just trying to get to the Axe BKB would be a huge pickup here for Mira. He's the most farmed hero in the game. You want to make sure this guy is controlling when the fights happen around his item timing. And this is a massive one.
What do you think of Kiritich? Second item, Nullifiers. What he was considering, but now he's worked it back to the AC. I was going to say he had Nullifier queued up, and there was not really a PARIVISION. There were no Force Staffs, no Scepters, anything
he's
like
committed.
that.
He has the Relic flying.
Oh, he does. Okay, yeah, you're right. So he's going to have this item potentially before PARIVISION have any of the answers.
Yeah, there is nothing to nullify.
Yeah.
Like, it's too fast for his own good. This is normally an item you will always get on Lycan at some point.
Yeah.
But it does feel a little like he jumped the gun here. That said, you don't know, right? Like, you don't want to go into the next fight, use everything on Lycan, run at this Rubik, and suddenly he had a Ghost Scepter for this fight and you didn't see it.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it.
The early kills, like obviously killing the supports at the start of the fight is fantastic, but also with his facet, it extends the shapeshift duration, so you can play longer team fights as long as you are able to get one or two of those support kills.
And Nullifier should guarantee that. Like, you're looking for the Rubik or Undying here every time. Maybe the Drow, honestly, if you have enough DPS. Don't think he has it right now, but this game goes later. Might be able to get there. There's
Rubik might be a little hard. He's got Blink Dagger. Smoke up.
Radiant's top tower is under
BetBoom
attack.
pushing into this tier 1 tower and will jump anybody who goes to defend it, but nobody from PARIVISION is showing. They are making a mass rotation.
Oh, they want to fight this.
Settling up on the tier 2 right now.
This is a very pivotal fight.
5-man play here from PARIVISION. The tower is taken. And will BetBoom lose a bit of their formation that they've set up? Not expecting PARIVISION.
Oh man, they're so
be
clumped right now.
They're baiting out
They're
DM right now.
so clumped.
Trying to go for the call. Miro misses again, and now they manage to get the arena with the multi-shot coming in from the side. It's the Shadow Shaman first, and the Lycan stuck inside this fortress. He finally breaks free, but no one's having a free fight so far. Miro chases after him. Hurricane Pike pushes them back. Slowed down by the Undying. Has to pop the BKB. No one's going to deal with the Helm of the Overlord. That's fine. They kill the Shadow Shaman. They got the Oracle.
But what about GPK?
And GPK is still in the middle of all this, and they have kited him around entirely. He is left behind. Once again, PARIVISION outmaneuver BetBoom.
They get the jump. So much of this game is dependent on who jumps who between the Mars and the Axe. The Axe jump whiffs, and the Mars jump lands. You cage the Lycan, slow down this whole fight. Was a clutch Hex there from Save. But then nobody can turn around and do the damage. The cores are all split up in this fight. And this Huskar just got completely kited. Absolute non-factor there.
And now Kiritich is like, damn, I need a BKB because of this arena wall. If I'm to hope to chase after this Drow Ranger and take her out of the fight every single time, BKB goes a long ways for that. But it just feels like BetBoom are just constantly caught unaware by how much effort PARIVISION puts into their initiations on the fights. The smokes, the wrap all the way around. They attack them from multiple angles. They get where BetBoom are just not expecting them to come from.
You put in the work, it pays off.
It does.
They're definitely making sure all the little things go right for them. And the second that jump happens, you drop Tombstone, there's no counterplay. Like, you can't really sit out of that fight if you're Miro and say, okay, I'm going to let you guys get jump first and look for the counter jump on the Mars.
Yep.
Like, maybe you have enough damage right now, but at the point where the first defensive item comes out for Satanic, you won't. That's going to shift your impetus to jump first even more in this game. But still keep scaling here, though. I mean, you got to remember how this game started, and the fact that they brought this to a gold lead for themselves is not a bad sign at all.
For sure. And as long as, like, Miro, as he said, he keeps scaling up, if he always can answer the Drow Ranger, right? Like, there is almost never a point where the Drow Ranger's like, yeah, the X is not a problem anymore.
Gets tougher the more you tank up.
For sure.
I mean, that is the nature of Axe, right? Like, you're always going to be in these games where if you jump the guy and he hits himself on blade mail, you probably kill him. If you don't, you get kited out in the fight.
I mean, even just like the Aghanim Scepter, right? Reducing much of the damage the Drow Ranger does. Like, it is going to be, I assume, most of the damage is coming from this Drow. Now, maybe Mars will go crazy with a Deso, like, you know, Daedalus, whatever, build up, and these God's Rebukes will start one-shotting heroes, but I'm expecting most of the damage to be coming from the Drow for much of the game. So, in that regard, BetBoom, there's not too much haste required. Keeping this game fine. All their heroes are scaling up. They're getting a Satanic soon on GPK. Kiritich almost has his BKB.
Look at that. They have the highest net worth heroes here. That's something. That's improvement.
It is.
This DM Brew will continue to scale, though. You're talking about the damage sources for PARIVISION. He's going to be a big one. Like, he already has AC done. That's a huge item for these other two heroes as well, because now you have Deso and AC going into that fight for the Rebuke to hit, for the Drow arrows to hit. Yeah, you have, like, some minus armor anti-synergy with the Drow or whatever, but you're not going to proc every hit.
Roche has spawned. Kataomi's been chilling in this pit for a while to give them the information.
This Roche will not be as easy as the first one.
No.
You have to expect to contest. Even more so, you have to understand that Pari can do it themselves if you play on the wrong part of the map, or you give up a bad pickoff. So BKB finished for the Drow Ranger as Satanic done for GPK.
He's going to go in. They immediately are going to jump on a Satanic.
That's exactly
they
what
have
you want.
The damage. Oh, what a save! Dukalish pulls out the Tombstone. They're trying to get through this Tombstone to get after Satanic. Satanic gets a kill. He gets off his ult, and he may have fallen, but he sets up the rest of the team as the Drow Ranger just continues continues to mow down heroes. Kiritich is chasing after Night Class here. He can't kill the Drow Ranger easily. It's just taking too damn long to kill Night Class. He's got him trapped in a corner. He TPs away with a Solar Crest on him. He is fine. They got Satanic, but it cost them all too much.
The fact he gets Entomb there just completely ruins the jump. You have to spend so much time bringing this thing down and then kill him afterwards, and the dunk missed. So then he lives another second longer. And all this delays the fight enough that Pari are able to clean up your backline. The Drow Ranger has a free fight because you're not jumping him. Man, Ducal has just ruined that jump. And that is a big concern here if you are BetBoom, because this is supposed to be the fight you're looking for. A call on one of those 2 big damage targets, focus that hero down. You get Lycan units on the Drow, but your Huskar gets bursted. There's no false promise on the Huskar there. That's just a big whiff. Not expecting that much burst damage to come out. A little missed execution here for BetBoom as Pari take huge advantage of it. With a nice little tombstone counterplay.
Never seen a situation where so clearly execution is just like so much better. One team the other, and it's making all the difference, right? Like strategy-wise, maybe this game 2 is more even or whatever, but I mean, that's a team fight that 1 for 4 very easily could have been a lot closer, could have been a fight that maybe even BetBoom can win.
Double damage.
They get that initial kill quick enough on the Mars. Culling Blade him down, use that movement speed to just swarm over the Drow Ranger.
Ducal is in the right spot at the right time, and
Big
no
pick,
false
though.
promise.
GPK and Save find DM here with no primal split. Even with all the misses that are coming in, he'll eventually burn out.
It's a nice little pickup. Sad to have lost that Roshan here, but still a lot of game to play.
For sure. I mean, dead for 70 seconds, that's certainly a window.
Oh yeah, they're going to smoke. They're going to go through the gate, try and look on the other side of the map. Save picking up some momentum here. Got to remember, this Shaman is still a mega farm. He will eventually get to BKB in this game. They want Satanic. You have to be able to chain stun him here. He has BKB.
Runs right into him. Hits him with the Hex first. Now the Shackles. Looks like he's likely to get off BKB, but the call, maybe not. Culling Blade him down. Miro,
Perfect
he was
rotation.
pushing in mid, but he made a fast rotation down the lane in order to get to bottom just in time.
A perfect move here. Save calling the shots. This is what this lineup can do really well. Pickoffs around the map with all the chain stun potential. Lycan Wolves to scout out some plays. Push in the other lanes.
Oh, quick telekinesis there from 9 class. Miro almost caught him out. And we're back to pickoff into tower.
2 towers
Or the BetBoom
potentially.
lineup, yeah.
Both these tier 2s getting sieged right now with the Lycan on the mid lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Got the old ancient ice shaman. Can't believe 9 class tried that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That was an idea.
Did he still have the Culling Blade? Is that what he went for?
I'm going to guess so.
Either way, it did not work out. And that's going to be another kill into 2 tier 2s. In the gold lead shifting back BetBoom's way. Just like that, they're starting to control this game a bit more. Closing in on that Axe Aghanims. They have their BKBs online. A lot of the fights still come down to whether you get this big false promise off or whether PARIVISION can control the Oracle and save from the Axe jump.
Save within invisibility is heading up the top, but nobody to be found there. Did Kiritich buy out his shard? I think he did, right?
Yeah, he has it.
So
Wolves are going down the lanes.
Wolves are going down the lanes, and I think PARIVISION's lineup is not very fit to deal with that, right? Like, they don't have very good lane show.
It's not the best we've seen from them.
Dire's top tower
Usually they
is under
prioritize it
attack.
pretty highly, but
Radiant are
the
scared.
Drow is cleaning up. They're smoking. They're going to find Miro. That's who you want to spot first.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get an initiation. He's going to be slowed down. No one hits him once. BKB has got to come out from Miro.
No TP, though.
Dire's top tower
Still
Pretty
the false
awkward.
promise. It's still going to be a difficult kill. They give him as much as they can before they blink away. Oh, okay. The false promise, it saves him from damage, so therefore he's still able to blink away.
Yeah, guaranteed blink there.
Very
Guaranteed
nice
get him out.
idea.
That's a wasted move for PARIVISION. You got to remember, they had Aegis this time. Butterfly done for no one. He's super strong right now. That's why they're looking for that fight. But every time you miss one of these plays, the waves get shoved in by the Lycan.
Yeah, and it's their cores that have to do lane shoving, and you've got such good pickoff on this lineup from BetBoom that it's scary to show like 1 or 2 cores in these lanes trying to deal with the lanes.
That's the threat you always want to create with this Shaman off the map. I mean, Lycan is a really powerful map control hero. They're abusing it pretty well this game.
Spotting Ducalis.
He's completely
catch
alone.
him. He's got both his Aghanims and his Shard, making for even nicer solo pickup.
More blood for the Axe Coat here.
Heritage spotting no one, farming up these Ancients, but again, he has Butterfly, he has Aegis. You should not want to trifle with that too much. Not sure why he tried to take the Dragon. That was silly.
I can guarantee you, though, that this game looks very different from the others because of the Lycan's presence on these lanes. He is enabling all these moves to happen. He is giving you a lot of space and time on the map.
Right.
And normally, Pari are pretty good at choking you out, taking away your space, limiting your play options, limiting the routes you can use these smokes to find pickoffs. But this Lycan constantly making people show, bringing people back to base, threatening supports, so they don't want to show solo on a lane. It has a really big compounding effect here as you go into the mid game. You need this kind of play action versus Pari. You need heroes that can get the lanes out safely so you can make plays on them, as normally they're the ones who abuse you in that area.
Dude, Miro's so farmed.
Yeah, he is. He is huge. Looking at Octarine / Refresher here.
Why not Bloodstone? Oh,
No AoE anymore.
Yeah, I forgot the AoE.
Yep, they killed the best build in the entirety of Dota 2.
Yeah.
Kantaomi killed by the Tormentor. He's low level though, so 40 seconds is not the worst here.
I guess. Still feels a little unnecessary. Now PARIVISION are like, all right, no Oracle. So that means the Huskar isn't nearly as much of a threat. So let's just take it tier 2.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Also, do you agree with 1 point in bulwark? Opting for stats over leveling this?
Radiant's bottom tower
I would agree with it in this game. I don't think he's actually getting hit that much where Bulwark is effective. No. What's most of the damage he takes from the axe? Spins and blade mail, right? Okay, Bulwark's not doing anything for you there. The Lycan's not really looking at you at all. He's looking at everybody else. And then the Huskar, most of the damage is from burning spears, right?
And I'm not saying it's the greatest bulwark game, but I don't know. I'm just a stats hater. You know, I always have a hard time believing that they generally outweigh some of the points in these spells, even if the effect's minimal.
Dire are
I mean,
scanning.
Satanic is also the guy who's not going to level up Dragon Slave, right?
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
going to
He's a
keep
carry.
that at 1 level. And
Always got to look cool as a carry. You got to have some hipster build, you know.
yeah.
So then you tell people, I understand this hero. That's why I'm playing it.
It's funny, I did think that those stats builds were gone. Like, we had this period of Dota where, like, everybody was leveling up all their abilities because they were all, like, valuable enough to do so.
It's okay. Just wait till
Now
Phantom
we're back.
Lancer and Anti-Mage come back in the meta. It'll be everyone's favorite patch. Just Anti-Mage, Phantom Lancer every game on your team, leveling stats.
That sounds really fun.
It's everybody's dream, right?
Bloodthorn.
It's
Well-
damage.
The Lycan has a single target fixation. Nullifier, Bloodthorn, like, when he gets on top of somebody, they're very likely to die. Except for the Drow Ranger, because the BKB and the Mars.
But you
But
have to
he
create
can
this
kill the
threat.
Brew. He can kill the supports very easily.
It's also just a lot of damage off the Soul Rend. Like when this thing pops, even if you just casually throw it out on somebody the other cores are going on. It's a lot of damage for the Huskar. They're gonna make the
Jump on a DM, see if they can burst him down with this Bloodthorn. Instant response, though. The Mars and the Undying both come in to bail out DM, and he got off his ultimate. They do get a good Shackles here. Satanic's taking a lot of damage, finally got off his BKB. God's Rebuke helps keep him alive. GPK will be cut
No ult
down.
for him.
No false promise. Katomi's being chased down next. He's going to have to just false promise himself, otherwise he dies, which that's what happens. 3 dead. How many times will BetBoom get baited into the initiation onto one of the tanky frontliners and be utterly countered by PARIVISION?
This is just not the guy you want to jump with Tombstone save behind him.
Radiant's middle
It's
tower
so
is
hard to
attacking.
burst through him.
Radiant's middle
I think if you jump and you retreat and you try and bait out spells,
Oh my god, they're
could
going
be
straight.
good.
They're ending the game.
There's no buyback.
There's
on
nothing
these.
to stop them.
Yeah, that
PARIVISION
is the
just
game.
know how to win games and they do it perfectly in this situation. Hard countered into throne, 36 minutes, and you're now at 2-0.
That is a brutal loss. Just when you felt like...
To BetBoom, will it be in this Game 3 coronation, or will it be a contest? Avery, do they have a better shot this time around?
Would you like the good news or the bad news?
I always want the bad news first.
Yes.
They have a better shot.
No.
What? Huh?
Look, an optimist would say, of course they have a better shot because they've lost 8 times in a row, so they've learned a lot.
The battle begins.
Or they haven't learned anything at all.
Or they are still maybe lacking a little bit here to take on PARIVISION, who have just, well, beaten everybody handedly this event. So, I mean, how much of it can you put on BetBoom, right? It's like no one else has done any better.
No. PARIVISION they look incredibly good. They actually look so far ahead of anybody else.
Yes.
At the tournament, perhaps in the world right now.
I feel like sometimes when that happens in Dota, it's easy to just be like, oh, what should BetBoom have done different? What should they have adjusted? But sometimes you also should just give praise where praise is due.
Yeah.
And Pari are just owning this year.
I mean, how many failed executions have we seen from them this tournament? I feel like very, very few. It feels like they're always going the next level on their smoke plays. Their drafts are incredibly solid, obviously incredibly versatile.
Oh, yeah.
And despite the versatility, it does not seem like they're failing on the execution. Clearly, the best example being they pulled out Pudge, and 9 Class hasn't missed a hook since 2023. So,
when you are doing all the little things right, the big things tend to go right as well. And then it frees up your mind to be doing even more little things right. And that's just how you completely clown on Tier 1 teams here. PARIVISION have done this entire event, might continue to do it here in Game 3. They have another draft, as you said, with a lot going for it. A lot of team fight with Shaman Wards plus Tombstone. Lycan Wolf scouting it out. Looking for the early kill on Ducalis.
An early first blood would feel rather good. They're going to have to use the blood grenade to secure it, but save. We'll get the first blood on his, one of his quintessential heroes here, the Muerta, pulling that one back. Where did this hero come from? Why did they choose to bring the Muerta back as opposed to the Wind Ranger that they've been rocking for most of the time? Oh, Skewer.
Still a dead shot here.
Yeah, still looking at a second kill in this top lane as Satanic. Here comes that dead shot, pushing him back in. Looks like they will fail to have the physical damage to push through all that armor, but good go.
Yeah, really nice early chip damage here. And this offlane has been doing work for BetBoom. I mean, it won last time really hard. The Axe carried that game through the mid game.
Yep.
You can't put much blame on Miro there. Those late game jumps are going to be hard to find. He did work.
He missed a couple.
Yeah, but you're always going to miss a few. I mean, it's Axe, right? Like, you can't go in this game and expect, oh, our win condition is this guy hitting 10 teamfight jumps in a row. And if he misses one, we're screwed. Like, I mean, come on. That's too much, right? You got dual lane mid, your Huskar was jungle. Yeah, jungle Huskar. And you're blaming the Axe? Get out of here,
I'm just saying, a little bit of blame can be given his way.
And a lot of props to Pari for putting them in that position.
For sure.
They do go back for the Tidehunter, but this time it's on Kiritich, not on Miro. This is a hero that they picked a lot, and it can be very strong when it has a good laning phase and can give you that front line, can bully people off the map. Can also be really slow and staticky. That's my concern here with this BetBoom lineup. Is it too clunky? That's how I'd put it, right? Like, you don't have a lot of map mobility. Your 3 cores are pretty stationary. You want to anchor fights around objectives around Roshan, ancient stacks, tier 1s, and take the fights where you have good vision and you can use your ults well. If you start getting dragged around the map, if you start having to deal with a lot of lane shove...
Skewer back into the tower. Miro low on HP, but they make the move anyway. Good damage on a Satanic, just enough perhaps to get the kill.
Nope.
And a Fairy Fire, so he stays alive. But so does Miro. So considering where Miro started at the beginning of that fight, very good trade-off for BetBoom.
Hey, look at the CS. They're doing really well.
Look at Ducalis. He wants to cancel as much of the healing salve as possible, but this does leave Satanic a bit alone. The Tombstone's still up for a second. That one hit wasn't enough. Oh no, the Tombstone's still up for a couple more seconds. Miro's going to be slowed down. He tries for a Shockwave. Will that Shockwave land? No way. It's too far away.
He's going to get the Lotus off this as well.
Yeah.
Could have been so good. Instead, it went so wrong.
If they kill the Terrorblade, they could quickly focus down the Tombstone together.
And the thing is, they were winning this lane pretty handily. So that's why they had the lane in a good position.
Yep.
So you didn't need to go for that extra trade after the salve, but they really wanted to bring Satanic down. Can't blame them. You got to start playing a little more aggressive, looking for more opportunities here in this series. They seem to be in good spirit.
GBK seems to be, yeah, he's having a very good time with it.
I mean, for good reason. He's owning mid right now.
Yeah. 18-5 for GPK. Maybe this will just be a game where we watch Miro potentially die. Good dead shot back. The decay. Not quite enough for the creeps. That's enough.
You rather die.
And now Save is probably going to die too, as to call us 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. There we go.
That is a lot of XP for the Undying here. Working out well for PARIVISION so far.
He's eating good.
But this mid lane will go GPK's way. This is the downside of the Ember pick. It gives your lineup what it needs, which is this low cooldown initiator, some extra frontline, someone who can start the action, but it has to lane into the sniper. So you're bringing the heroes to gank him. We've seen this before.
Spot rotations coming out. Katomi, first one on the scene for the save. Nice dead shot calling from Save. This is why it's a signature hero for this guy. Great placement, blows up the Ember Spirit.
Super good reaction here as well from BetBoom. This time around, they're the ones who have to react instead of forcing some bad action, and they get the reward. Taking advantage of this sniper shrapnel early, always super nice. And now this Ember is pretty far behind. That was a costly death in a lane that was already not going his way. Supports cannot bail him out of this matchup. He's going to be stuck in the 1v1. Tough position for no one.
Do I dare to hope, Avery?
I mean, this is looking the best of all the games so far.
Yeah,
in terms
the
of
laning phase win on all 3 lanes. Even if it's not a massive, like they don't have a huge net worth lead just yet or anything, but they are winning all 3 lanes, and I don't expect that to change.
You cannot let the sniper get ganked. You have to keep some tabs on these supports. And they are drawing the lines. Got Naomi giving the information here. You can absolutely leave Kiritich alone in this game. So
Here back into the calling. Nice placement from Miro. Deadshot slows him down for them to right-click him away. Now they do have over a 1,000 net worth lead in this laning phase.
Looking really good. Save doing a lot in this early game.
And GPK just beating up on no one.
Can you get him here? That's close. One more shrapnel would have done the trick. They are rotating Save over. Maybe going to look for a cheeky kill. But Boots delivered for the Ember.
Dire are scanning.
Just the right time. And he has to show on that Watcher.
I just fail to see how PARIVISION will ever be able to gank this sniper, considering the fact that Tidehunter, we haven't really talked about this lane, but he is just it's a beautiful lane, right? It's Tidehunter versus Lycan. It's the freest lane you're going to have.
Oh yeah, you do 0 damage to him.
And against a Shadow Shaman who also does not interact well because of Blubber.
This is the strength of the Tide pick. You can leave him alone from level 2. And there's 0 pressure going in.
Nightmare back into play. And while the foul play protects him for a second, there is still the shrapnel damage over time, which will always fare pretty nicely. It's always nice when you don't have to worry about the foul play, you know? Where it's just like, oh, he's in some sort of damage over time thing. We don't have to worry about trying to get the last hit.
Whole save, looking for no one.
This is a big pickup. An assassination inbound. GPK takes another one.
This is looking really good now. This is the exact type of game plan that I feel more teams need to put towards PARIVISION, which is take advantage of the fact that a lot of times they're willing to pick a slightly bad matchup for no one, and that their supports often are not the best at rotating mid early. So if you put them in a position where they are forced to come mid and you out-skirmish them, you can gain a huge advantage there.
Failed the skewer.
You have to fight for this.
I don't think Takalis wins this on a 1v2, which that is what it's going to be. Another great dead shot. Now they do have 2 more supports coming in. They're going to try and help out Takalis. He is going to fall here, but they can win the fight overall. Takalis is not dead.
Oh my god.
Oh, what? How did it all go so wrong? Well, part of it is because BetBoom are so fixated on mid that they rotated in the support to the mid lane, but failed to get the kill.
I'm sure that's what that tip's about. Like, you're harassing me mid, but you lost your Wisdom Shrine, so.
Yep.
I still think this is the bigger priority. You keep this Ember down, you keep snowballing the sniper. That is the biggest pressure point in the game. You are, of course, super sad to lose that Wisdom Shrine, especially in that fashion.
Yeah.
But but it does not mean your game plan here changes. You have to continue to play for this. Draw Pari into your team fight around the shrapnels.
Dire are scanning. Dire's middle tower.
You get another power rune, you get more damage on the tower. Still have that ward in the jungle that Save placed earlier, giving you a lot of information right now.
This could be an interesting situation. Haste rune, though, was spotted by PARIVISION, and GBK shows it. I was going to say, if anybody shows up, they might just get run down by a hasted sniper. Kataomi's fishing, and he finds 9 class.
Exactly what you want. Bring the supports into this, and you have no chance of fighting the sniper.
No, not at all. You could see no one has already told him as much. He's like, dog, I'm farming this neutral creep. I'm not coming to help you out, sorry.
But a big component of this also is that you have side lanes they can't gank easily. Like Magnus plus the Tide here. Really tanky heroes. The Tide's invincible, so we're not even going to talk about that. But this Magnus is also pretty tough to gank for the limited lockdown here.
Sure.
Unless you push his tower with meta, there's not going to be a lot of pressure on Miro when he's left alone.
Now, it is a lineup that is somewhat dependent on winning the lanes, right? Because the lack of lane shove that they have on the side of BetBoom. No one pushing forward. Got to be careful with that silence always. Missed the chain, so Kataomi will walk free.
Push up here. I would phrase it more as if BetBoom come out ahead on lanes, then their lane shove comes online. Because then the Tide can stand and be invincible, and you can push these waves in. The Sniper can more aggressively kill waves, and he's not afraid of getting flanked or dying to Lycan ults early or something like that.
Right.
These are the things you need to avoid to keep map pressure online for your lineup, especially if the mag is going to have to jungle a little bit. Because you're going to have Terrorblade illusions, you're going to have wolves and summons, you're going to have an Ember. These are all really fast lane shove mechanics that's going to control the map for Pari. So you needed to win the laning phase here, and they did that. Now you need to transition it. As Pari are going to make moves to try and take objectives because their lineup does it really well in this game.
You know, great reaction. 9 class was trying to sneak an initiation on him there. But as you said, hard heroes to catch. He's tanky, and he's got the mobility of Skewer if he needs it. And he is going to be rocking just straight, I assume, blink into Aghanim Scepter into BKB. I mean, all you have to do is just find initiation to set up the sniper for success, right?
Should absolutely be blink here first. You have no initiation otherwise, so.
Yeah. And you do have some classic skewer combinations. You're skewering back into Bane, one of the most potent combos, going all the way back to TI-10. Finals between Spirit and LGD, right?
You have Bane Grip, you have Calling to put people into.
Yep.
You have a lot of chain stuff potential between the two big ults.
And it's just a ranged backline dealer, and Sniper is always...
Oh, yeah.
He's always going to benefit from that situation.
Yeah, mag skewers are deadly this game. You do have insta-hex on the Shaman to thwart it a little bit, and of course the Undying Tombstone is a very annoying spell to fight into for these Blink Initiators if he can throw it first and have position.
Right.
You fought well.
Another reason you might try and look to fight at nighttime here if you're BetBoom. You have Bane and Sniper. You have some vision mechanics on your side, and you're going to have to deal with Pari's vision mechanics, which, you know, Tombstone, Terrorblade Illusions, Lycan Wolves, a lot of annoying scouting mechanisms.
He's got some support coming in. Dead shot, and he nightmares his way out of those Serpent Wards. He's still going to die, but that was a cool move. I didn't really think about that.
Poor man's phase boots.
Yeah.
Very poor man's.
Very
Dire's
poor.
bottom tower is under attack.
A little too deep to bring the Sniper to that kind of fight.
Yeah.
But he did get Tombstone and Shaman Wards there on a non-objective, so you're kind of okay with that, right? These are not spells that are being dropped on your towers.
He also de-warded the ward that was there earlier,
Yep.
so...
You're okay with that, Death. Still would like to fight around the Sniper here, particularly while Miro's trying to finish this Blink. Very close to it. And they will do just that. Smoke on to GPK here. You have support ults available. You'd really like to find a core kill off this, or at least transition it into that top tier 1 and take away some of the map control from the Terrorblade, who is farming up a Storm right now.
Takalis, who has been left in this safe lane to deal with the wave, is not going to be the first point of contact. BetBoom are going to sneak behind him, knowing that Satanic is a much better kill. Now they've got to hit the calling. Okay, Fiend's Grip. Yeah, there's no stuns to stop the Fiend's Grip. I forgot about that. Takalis in confident in that regard. And he'll just be an extra kill, a cherry on top of this situation.
Not too shabby. Got to be a Radiance Tide Hunter as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what builds do you think Tidehunter should go for this game? Because
honestly, it kind of looks good here. First Terrorblade, Lycan, Ember. These are a lot of heroes that want to be able to right-click you down in the fight. The evasion is not inconsequential, and it makes him a way larger damage threat just existing, which you could argue part of PARIVISION's game plan is to ignore the Tide, because they're not going to be able to bring him down in the early game. Well, Radiance makes you a lot more difficult to ignore.
yeah.
So I dig it here. I dig it.
Mischance against Terrorblade and Lycan feels pretty good always. Yeah. But what else does he get? He's queued up Vlad's, which is pretty standard for this hero, then Blink Dagger, but at the rate he's farming, he's going to have even more items. So
You also want the shard at some point in this game.
Sure, the lockdown against the Ember. Yeah.
I don't think you're buying it too early on the carry Tide, but you do want it for that Ember at some point.
Yeah. Do you think he like goes AC at some point in time? Do you start building into the Anchor Smash damage more?
Yeah, I think building in Anchor Smash damage sounds completely fine here. I just think you need to be a damage threat in this game. You cannot just be a tank. Because you have to protect your sniper in situations where they're ignoring you. So you need to make yourself unignorable.
Chains goes out, stopping Katomi from getting what he wanted, and the TP is forced on the Tidehunter, which I think PARIVISION, I don't know if they were really ever intending to full all in on this tower. Knowing that the Tidehunter is going to show up at some point in time to defend, they'll get the Undying out of it.
This is a nice defense from BetBoom, though. They are really bringing the numbers this game and not getting swarmed. That's a Lycan ult that yields nothing. We'll go and hit this top tower. Nice play.
Yeah, he does outmaneuver them a bit for a bit of damage. Got the glyph out of him.
There's that Radiance. This is not a guy you want to fight right now.
And he's going to march straight to this offlane tower, which is almost dead. Wisdom Shrine is still up too, interestingly enough.
Oh, yeah, no, someone needs to go get that. Another Blade Mail build for the Ember. This doesn't seem like as good a Blade Mail though.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
There's not a lot of damage that BetBoom have to commit.
Yeah.
You're not playing against like Gyro Lesh or anything. And especially if you get skewered into stuns, they won't
It's also a
care
bad
about it.
Mage Slayer game, though, right?
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah,
like,
it's not great.
What else are you going to build?
That's a fair point.
Maybe he should have gone Radiance, too.
Radiant's middle tower.
I'm gonna say
is
no
under
to that
attack.
one.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Helm of the Overlord into AC for DM. I do wonder if he's going to buy his shard at some point in time. Save is going to be running into a smoke here. He just dropped a River Ward and somehow did not pop that smoke. It would have been a great position to break that smoke because otherwise it might find its mark on the mid lane. GPK is hitting that mid tower. Save runs into it now. So he will end up dying to the smoke. But again, better that than anybody else, really. DM comes marching in. They're going to try and take over this triangle area, but maybe they go for the mid tower.
You really want more off this Lycan Ward, yeah. You should get mid tower here. This is not a HP tower that BetBoom wanted to defend, particularly when you gave up some deep vision off that smoke. You're not sure where it is right now. And just let the creeps do the work. Kind of sad for Kirtachir as he would like fights around these objectives.
Yeah, exactly right. Lycan's making it so its towers are falling without a full 5-on-5 or anything.
And once these towers fall, you do have some concern about getting split around the map as BetBoom. You have a lead right now, but that can disappear really quickly.
Yeah.
If you start getting dragged around, someone miss TP somewhere, they get to Lycan ult on your sniper. Your lineup is really strong when it's together, very weak when it's split apart. And you know that Lycan and Terrorblade are going to try and abuse that. And you know this game is going to go long because you're not going to be able to just all in end it into this Pari lineup. Little gate action into bottom, looking for that last tier 1.
Yeah. Satanic Still the highest net worth in this game. Manta done for him, and he's going to work on a Hurricane Pike next. Keep that Tidehunter or Magnus at bay.
Radiant's bottom tower is falling.
The upside for BetBoom is they can stay a little clumped because it's a mag lineup, right? Like, he's just going to be Empower farming neutrals. GPK can clean up the waves. As long as your supports don't fall too far behind, which Stave did a good job in Game 2 keeping his net worth up. Right now, they are falling a little bit behind, though. Just a bit.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
PARIVISION,
Radiant's bottom tower is
very good at ratting. I've already shown it by taking all the Tier 1 towers without a real fight, and are now hitting a Tier 2.
Satanic takes this faster than Kirchich takes it on the other side of the map.
Yeah. Much faster. So what's the plan from BetBoom? Because eventually you're going to be forced down to this bottom lane. PARIVISION are just going to like keep shoving illusions and stuff down the lane to get you to defend. So
I think your sequence looks like Roche Tormentor here. You really want to abuse the fact that PARIVISION are dodging you.
Yeah, a good call.
Like, you just have to take advantage of the fact you're stronger in the 5-5 with the spells, and you need to get something out of the map right now. Your likelihood of chasing PARIVISION down seems very slim, right? There's Lycan, someone's pushing out mid, Terrorblade Illusion's pushing out bottom. Very hard to just smoke and catch people here, so you rather just get the guaranteed play. And if Pari are never going to come fight you, okay, we'll just take Roche, we'll take Tormentor 20, we'll build an advantage off that. We'll continue to scale with some good empowered targets here. Might even catch 9 class, looking for maybe some sort of Roche steal, but he gets left into Shrapnel, into Skewer. There's a little bonus on top.
What? What? Did he think he was going to blink in and out right-click them to steal
9
the
class.
Aegis? That's...
He thinks he can do anything. He's playing Pudge every other
He
game.
might be right. He might be right.
I mean, really, he is living the dream. Imagine you get to play on a pro team and you get to play Pudge Rubik every game and win tournaments, you know?
Support Terrorblade, support Slark. He is a player unlike anything we've seen in a while. Tormentor. So Roshan into Tormentor. Pretty efficient objective-wise for BetBoom. Didn't really have to move too much around the map for that.
The only downside is your 2 support shards are kind of weak here.
Yeah, they're a little bad. A little bad. They
More
got
the shards.
worst one
Yeah,
of the two.
the more the shards is not what you want.
Yeah. You could have gotten Brain Sap, then it would have given Kaitomi a way to farm.
Yeah, that shard is okay because you can at least farm, you can push out waves. It's not one of the worst shards in the game. But this Murtha one is kind of dead weight right now. Still, you got to take something away here. You're happy with that sequence. This will get you to Crimson Guard on the Magnus.
Man, it's crazy how defensive no one's build is. We haven't really seen any fighting, but it's Blade Mail into BKB.
Just building to scale.
Is that building to scale?
I mean, the Blade Mail is like you had to go some early item. He picked one of the 2. I think
Missed
maybe
the
early.
skewer, so DM won't get off the shapeshift. But, I mean, forcing him to use shapeshift and then still pushing into his tower is not going to feel the greatest for PARIVISION.
By the way, that's an inventory on that. Like, that is 3 empty slots, 3 empty backpack slots.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That looks like a dream inventory.
Radiant's
No boots.
top tower is under attack.
Why does he even have the wand when you think about it?
That's a good point.
Just wasted gold.
I mean,
He could have another empty slot. What's he thinking? The only thing stronger than 3 empty slots is 4 empty slots. Why stop there, actually? Why not?
Nice dead shot. That'll finish
Entirely
off
empty.
the Undying and push Satanic back.
Save takes that Tombstone last hit. A
Radiant's
lot of
top
extra gold for
tower
him.
is under attack.
I do want to emphasize for the audience, Avery is being sarcastic.
No, I'm not. Like, 5 empty slots, that sends a message, you know? In fact, he should just put the nullifier in his backpack and sell the wand and just run in the fight with one item. How scary would that be? You just saw Lycan run in the fight with 1 item?
Not at all.
Like, holy
I would
shit,
click
what
on
is
him
this
and
guy
see
on?
he has his nullifier in his backpack and say,
He
this
has, no
guy's a
respect, he
moron.
has no respect for
He
us.
doesn't know what he's doing.
He's not even willing to use all of his items.
Got one hand tied behind my back for this fight.
Oh, look at this angle, though. Oh my.
RP on 2. Beautiful setup. Ravage is entirely unnecessary, but I'm sure it felt really nice.
Grip that courier. He didn't want to grip it. Beautiful angle there. Now it's BetBoom finding some angles in this game. And every time you can kill heroes in this game, it's going to feel amazing because you're going to get map control off that. The sniper's going to be able to push up super far. Still have Aegis here for a minute and a half. Can aggressively look for things.
They're going to find TM. Another shapeshift to be used defensively. Is Skewer back on 2, and the Fiend's grip can't be stopped. All they could do is try and kill Katomi, which they will manage to do so. TM barely survives. Lucky to be alive. As the Hunter almost guns him down, GPK left him with like 30 HP, but another great fight for BetBoom.
This game is looking solid. They're getting a lot of farm right now. They're going to scale this Murtha up as well, or at least they have that option. They can do some serious damage in this game. Starting to snowball a little bit. You can keep finding some pickoffs with this Magnus. Continue to let the Tide be invincible. He's running around with Gem right now. They are really banking on the fact that Pari are just not going to have itemization answers to Tidehunter until it's too late.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And they're correct. I mean, who's going to build Silver Edge in this game? You don't really have silences. Not a lot of control for Kirtich, who's just slowly grinding through the map right now. It's not the fastest tower push, but it is tower push.
Yeah.
I mean, why? Why is that?
My class is so funny, man. He tried to tumbler toy, deny the tower, and then blink away. It's just so unnecessary.
I feel like sometimes his plays are just so ridiculous. That's why he doesn't get punished, because you're sitting there not thinking anyone would do that.
Yeah.
It's unpredictable, and therefore it works.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, there's no way GPK was ready to shrapnel that one. Initiation coming in. No one trying to set something up for his team with the chains on a GPK. He's already at half HP. This is looking pretty good. GPK, he's going to die almost immediately. Now the RP does catch the Ember Spirit, but no damage behind it. Skewer back in, underneath the calling. Really nicely played by Miro, but they're just going to have to TP out. This is not a fight for them.
They can get out here.
Oh, Muerta barely makes it away.
Yeah, you really have to care with this Howl going out. Reducing your armor effectively to 0. Just turns these slights and Satanic right-clicks into pure damage. I mean, you're lucky to get out of there with everything, because Sniper going down first is a nightmare there.
Yeah. Got the Skewer back onto Satanic into the calling once again, and they still are ready to go with the Ravage. Are they going to be able to blow him up fast enough? It looks like he might be able to get off the Thunder. Oh no, Kiritich! He activates the Kraken Shell, but it's not good enough to stay alive.
Yeah, Gem too.
Misjudge of the situation, and all of a sudden, PARIVISION. A lead, a gem, and maybe a tier 2 tower.
I'm not gonna lie, I think that is the only way Kiritich can ever die in like the first 30 minutes in this game, is you get sundered, and then you're able to burst him down. There's no way he dies there from full. It's impossible. You're very... I feel like we've seen this 3 or 4 times this series alone, where you just get baited into trying to kill this guy. And he always knows his limit.
Yeah? I mean, that one was...
It was close.
That one was more so BetBoom not knowing their damage. Because, I mean, they were like, what, 300 damage off? If GPK was there, like, Salt, they definitely win.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But it's the same with the fight that happened in the Triangle, right? That was a fight where Kiritich wasn't in. And now we have a skirmish where GPK is not a part of it.
I mean, you also have like this 2,000 gold on Kiritich. That could be a Veil in the Shiva's build-up.
Yeah.
Maybe that gives you a little extra damage. All these little things add up.
I also wonder, like, he had the Blink Dagger and the Quick Buy earlier. He has opted to delay it to a point he's going to wait out for full-on AC on Kiritich.
That's why he was not picking up this Veil. He was debating between the two big armor items. I mean, it's a good AC game.
I just wonder, wouldn't the extra mobility feel really good in this game? Like,
I think he's under pressure to scale and give them the damage loss, right? He is the one position. Your mag is not going to give you a lot of direct damage because he's going the horn toss. Who deals the deeps here? GPK? And what happens if he dies early on in the fight? And you're completely screwed.
We are seeing that from the Ember Spirit and Lycan just trying to run him down.
Downside of this build is you're building 3 ore items into Terrorblade Reflection.
Ooh, yeah.
Kinda sucks.
Yeah, that
You're
does.
giving him a lot. But upside is the Lycan already has an AC, so, you know.
Maybe that's why he decided AC over Shiva's, because he was like, wow.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just build what he already has, and then
Yeah.
even if you get it, I don't care. Next level. GPK getting bitten by the wolves. Not having fun.
Not to be confused with Wolfbite, which DM is not going for. AC into BKB
Yeah, he's
is the
just
next item.
playing it like a carry straight up. As I said, Pari are just playing to scale. They always do this, and Ag's already done on no one. He gets to his next item, he's going to be a beast of the fight. You have Howl going through, ruining everyone's armor. You have this Terrorblade who's going to be hitting incredibly hard. Here's your AC for the Tide. Feels like you need Roshan here soon if you're BetBoom to gain some sort of teamfight advantage.
Yeah, it does.
Just getting out farmed around the map. And you don't have to catch to punish the split push. You just have to win the team fights. You're all in on team fight victory. Which means putting PARIVISION in a position where they feel pressured to fight you. That's how you are going to be able to kill them in this game. And that means Roshan, Tormentor, pushing high ground.
9 class got to level 15. That is a bit of a problem for Kiritich, because most of the time he's been able to just push out these lanes without any fear of interference from PARIVISION. They're just not going to go for this Tide Hunt. But now they have Hex Break, so it is a possibility. Still not an easy
Radiant's
kill,
bottom tower
obviously.
is under
3
attack.
seconds of a Hex Break. It's enough to do serious damage. Maybe you don't kill him, but you can take him out of the fight.
Sure.
It is a big threat.
Go.
Nonetheless, Kiritich did also get to the anchor, so Dead in the Water now available. Some lockdown threat on both sides.
Leading the charge. But he doesn't have Blink Dagger, so hard to make this smoke initiation really work.
You might get him.
Oh!
Never mind.
No. Why was Kiritich leading that, is my question.
You just gotta go in, man.
Radiant's top tower is under
You just gotta
attack.
go.
Why don't you let Miro lead the way so if they run into somebody, he can actually catch
No time, Austin. Sometimes you just gotta go.
Well, apparently, we just re-smoke back up. Go again.
This is a do-or-die fight for BetBoom, it feels like. If you don't win this one, you're going to be in a very rough spot.
Yeah, because this is going to be nice
okay,
play.
there goes the
nice,
smoke.
smooth move from no one. And I can already feel it, man. I can already feel it. PARIVISION's doing that thing, trying to get him to initiate. Calling over the staircase. It's going to be a little difficult for PARIVISION to push into this one. The rest of the BKB from no one really trying to get a kill out of this one. Kiritich, oh, we got hit by the damn creeps again. Satanic hits him with the reflection, trying to finish him off. The Tide is still up. He pops a Kraken Shell. He's slowed down to a crawl here. He's just going to die.
He died so fast.
He died so fast.
Just to the Ember.
This Ember Spirit's doing too much damage.
Put the Howl through, amp him up. I mean, okay. No one just broke your frontliner there. So much for the Tide Hunter anchoring the fight. It's not a fight for Roshan anymore. It's a fight for your base.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You need a big RP now. No buyback available on Tide, by the way. You're going to have to do this without him.
And at some point in time, PARIVISION, they're going to like, okay, that's enough building damage. Now let's go back, take the Roshan. They give themselves enough of a window
Radiant's
that
top tower is under attack.
BetBoom are unlikely to contest.
It's such an aggressive go from no one. He just BKB jumps in. And there's no ability to sit there and grip him because the Wolves and the Lycan go straight for the Bane. Just takes Kataomi out of that exchange. No defensive item on him outside of the Gale Guard.
Radiant's top tower is falling.
It was kind of crazy how effective that was when it's not like BetBoom got caught unaware or anything like that.
No, he just went straight into him.
He just walked straight into him. They had the calling laid down on the staircase and everything, and they just pushed right through it.
I'm just surprised here to just died that fast. He took a decent amount from the blade mail hit there, but just look at the remnant damage. The Maelstrom, was it?
I think he anchor smashed himself twice on the blade mail.
I mean, you got like some chain lightning return, but he took probably equal to the Tide. It's just not equal in the grand scheme of things because BetBoom need the Tide on the front line, whereas the Ember can just go heal and come back. That's a lot of damage from an Ember who got shut down the hardest in this early game.
Yeah, exactly. Right? And, well, he got shut down one more time, apparently.
No, I got the shard.
He gets the shard. Okay. But it does leave him on the other side of the map, and BetBoom are set up for this smoke push forward by PARIVISION. This might be an opportunity, but the smoke is going to break off the neutral creeps. In Night Class, he makes the Hex initiation. A dead shot does go out. Miro can get away thanks to the skewer. They've killed the wolves. They've killed some of the threat, but Satanic, he's looping in from behind. GPK is a little bit surrounded. Kiritage trying to protect his sniper as best as possible. Nice push down to the low ground, but GPK is still being hounded by these wolves. Now Kiritage is taking some damage from Satanic. No one thinking about jumping in. Fiend's Grip on a DM underneath this tower. GPK is fine for now. His BKB is going to wear out soon, though. They have successfully managed to back themselves away from PARIVISION. It almost looks like a situation where they might be able to push out into them.
There's the BKB from no one as well.
No one stops him. He's got a shield rune and a BKB, so very tanky.
Okay, I mean, Grenade plus Hurricane Pike repositioning GPK. You drag the fight super deep. You get a Sleep Skewer onto the Lycan, straight into grip inside the base. That is enough to bring him down. A lot of HP to get through. You needed all that time. And now you're going to make a quick smoke play. Still have Ravage available.
Radiant are scanning.
Definitely look for something nice here.
Making the move because meta's on cooldown.
But the issue is
Lycan for 30 seconds.
Again, the lane information. Like, you have TV Illusions pushing top. This bottom wave is not far out from your base. Pari are going to feel this. They're not going to give you a big opening here. And there's no objective to fall back on. There's no Roche to take as the Age is still online for Satanic. He has 2 minutes left. So you just have to TP back to base.
Top tower is under attack.
That's one of those smokes I think you regret making because you could have just farmed and gotten the map in a better position.
Yeah, and then you could have smoked up a little bit later with the lanes pushed in. Would have been a bit more disguised.
You have to set these plays up. That's the thing. At this level, you can't just force the action. Like, good teams are not going to give it to you. When you know it's advantageous for you, they know it's disadvantageous for them. So why are they just going to run into you and fight you? They're going to dodge, let their heroes respawn, let the map go in. And, like, look at the lanes now. They didn't even get them out that much.
Yeah.
You have to respect Lycan and what he does to the map control. You have to respect terribly. And the vision is another big problem in this game right now for BetBoom. I mean, where are the wards? They have just been destroyed with that gem loss. That gem loss on the Tide with the Thunder play earlier hurt them so much in this game because you can't control the wards and you can't kill these wolves. Or at least see when the wolves are scouting you in a lot of these team fights.
Yeah.
That was such a big swing in this game. And now you're operating in complete darkness. I guess you can always fall back on sniper high ground defense.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be playing defense until at least the Aegis expires in 1 minute.
They get another gem. Kantaomi will buy his second one in this game. Kills his economy, but you got to do what you got to do. I do think there's a way you can still win this game as BetBoom, but I think it very much relies on playing the high ground defense super successfully with buybacks in around sniper and eventually scaling the Muerto. And then your late game just becomes too many big damage sources that are all empowered for this Terrorblade to eventually clear through.
Satanic telling BetBoom, nah, this corner of the map is mine. You don't get to farm any of these neutrals. You don't get to push out this lane. We now have a save mechanism to call us. He had a shard, but it was... oh, I thought he bought a blink deck. Maybe I was seeing things there. Well, he does have a shard, so we'll see if he could actually use it in fight or if it's even needed.
I use blink.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, blink shard available.
There we go.
Can always bail somebody out. As long as you position well.
He's been pretty sick with it.
Oh, yeah.
This series.
On point.
Scanning.
The map is PARIVISION's. They're farming it up. 13k gold lead. Waiting for next Roche, I guess. A little ways away. I don't think they're too sad about farming up here if BetBoom are just going to sit in the base. We'll have to make a move eventually here, BetBoom, unless you just want to concede Roche and truly play for the turtle. GPK looking for a full Satanic, trying to get the courier to the shop. Will it get killed? No one doesn't want a Remnant for it has the shield. I think get the Reaver at least, but that does... It does complete the Satanic if he wants to buy out for it.
Fishing for a skewer here, Miro. Pushes forward, but could be running into Shiva's. Unlikely to be able to pull that off.
You just have so little vision to work with. Like, it's so hard to make a move right now. I mean, what? You see nothing. It's just ghosts in the wind. Or wolves at your door.
Yep. TM's gonna get an Abyssal Blade, and then he's just got one item slot left.
Yeah, he filled
It's
them
that
all up.
magic wand.
He's still holding the charges. The same charges from the start of the game.
Might be. Tombstone on the high ground. RP on 2 with the calling. Very nicely set up. Another Ravage that... Oh, nice dodge there from 9 class. Not that it saves him, but it was cool. Outworld staff dodged the Ravage tentacles.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under
Next level. But there's the gem back in their hands. They'll reclaim it here. A big win. And a huge teamfight win. Just caught PARIVISION sleeping. They were farming the whole map. Get caught on that high ground position. RP grip into that Ember. No chance for no one to get out of there. And some serious damage laid down from his Tide.
Opportunities come few and far between. BetBoom do manage to make the most of it in the fight. We'll see how the map is set up by the time no one is back alive. They get the map in a good enough spot, then they will be in prime position to contest Roshan.
The upside for them is now they have double gem. So that goes a long way in terms of killing the wolves and dewarding the map, making sure you have better vision to operate with. It's already looking way better in this last minute than it was for the 10 minutes before that.
Nice kill on the Croaker. Extra 250 gold for Kiritich. And now he's thinking about that Blink Dagger. Has plenty of gold for it, but he is, I guess, thinking about buyback or maybe even a different item entirely. I just feel like at some point you want this Blink. Such an immobile hero.
This will come in handy.
All right, so potential Roshan spawn time. The lanes are not that pushed in. They tried, but then the wolves start coming out. The TB illusions.
It's good enough for now. Downside is you don't have vision mechanics for the
Radiant
Roche.
are scanning.
But you can play on this high ground ward, and if Pari go into that, could end really poorly for
They
them.
got a scan on them. They know they're coming. They ready to take advantage of this. The Wolves scouts out GPK. They know. They know they're sitting on a high ground ward. So PARIVISION are not going to get caught there anyway. But now it's BetBoom's turn to smoke and see. Since PARIVISION won't come to their ward, they will go to PARIVISION. But Ducalis positioned very nicely. Just breaks the smoke, blinks away.
So hard to decide where to run this play. At least you get out here, though. You recontrol this high ground, park the sniper up here. But I guess last time that did not work for you too well. Should be better. It should be better now, however. If no one just goes into you, you absolutely just grip him. Like, I don't care what's happening. Like, you grip him, and if Bane dies to the wolves or whatever, so be it. I guess you can always blink Tombstone him. Maybe you're worried about that, but we saw how fast the damage was earlier. I think you should just bank on the fact that Empowered Sniper, Empowered Tide are going to deal some DPS, and you have to take the openings that are given to you if Pari decide to play super aggressive like that.
It is a double Siege Wagon push coming in. Or at least it was bottom. Only one Siege Wagon top wave.
His illusions are just so annoying.
They do got to deal with this. This is going to be a lot of damage on the tower.
Or you can give up some of your base here for the fight in Roche. Just accept the fact you're going to get ratted this game. You have an amp damage on the Tide right now. That goes a long way.
That's true. You are desperate that this Roshan spawns now, and you can just kind of force it. PARIVISION smoking up the side.
And they're going
What
to
if
that
they
lane.
yeah, I was about to say, what if they're not going to fight you? What if they're just going to quickly take your lane?
This is the correct macro play.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Why give BetBoom what they want?
Roshan is up. What is BetBoom going to do in response to this? Are they going to freak out and teleport back?
There's meta.
Are they going to go take Roshan?
He's hitting. Got to make a call.
They're going to come back. Save. He managed to get off the ultimate. There goes the Hex. No one jumping straight in after GPK. GPK has Satanic, so it's not that big of a deal. Kiritin taking a lot of damage, though, from this TB. Throws a little damage after him. Satanic, nice man to dodge. They'll clean up the Serpent Wards. That is going to be a tier 3 down, but it also means that PARIVISION have removed BetBoom from that high ground position they were sitting in.
On the flip side, your meta wearing out here.
And your Shapeshift is now gone.
Those are big spells missing if BetBoom can take advantage of it.
Yeah, BetBoom just forced it right now. Are you even capable of fighting for this?
You do have Tombstone still. You're definitely capable of fighting, but it's a lot more difficult. And BKB for Miro, that's huge as well. You have a lot more ability to stand your ground right now, especially since Kiritich got that top lane out. You're not worried about losing your base. I mean, this is the moment to do this. You have to man up here.
Yeah, I think PARIVISION's giving this up. They've spread out over the map already.
Well, I'm sure 9 class will go in.
That is true.
He will never give it up.
Time for his sick Blink Dagger steal.
He's going to blink in Outworld Staff for the confusion factor.
No one jumping into the pit. GPK already in half HP. Pops Satanic. Tries to heal up where he can. Doesn't have much to hit. This is a little weird.
Yeah, he did not get the healing he wanted there.
And Roshan's a bit low with the Tombstone out. Is it possible that PARIVISION go into the pit to take this?
They have meta coming back up here in 20 seconds. Lycan form is available again as well. And Terrorblade Illusion top.
Nice catch. No one. A beautiful pickup straight into the Fiend's grip. This is the combo right here that PARIVISION will not have an answer to. Catching more. Outworld Staff goes out onto the Rod of Atos, but 9 class will fall. All the same. Buyback immediately going to put to use as no one jumping around. GPK is the target. DM is going after Miro right now, trying to get the RP out of him, and the RP is never used. He just falls. GPK, the rest of his BKB is just simply not doing enough damage. He's not killing anything. The Ravage is finally getting put to use. It hits so many heroes, but they're not killing anything. There is no damage.
Somehow the Tide gets out of there. Satanic on the low ground took the fight to the Sniper on the high ground. But he had no Satanic to heal him through that.
And the top lane got demolished, and the mid lane almost lost the tier 3 as well.
It was double buyback from PARIVISION. Like, that is important. It was no one's buyback. That's an expensive one. But they're going to get Roche in the exchange, and that's well worth it.
It also got double buyback, granted, out of supports, but it still got double buyback out of BetBoom as well.
Yep.
Radiant's courier has been
PARIVISION happy with the outcome here.
Oops.
I mean, why? I feel like you have to just RP there. I don't know if it changes it too much, but you don't have buyback on the map. RP cooldowns as long as your death timer anyway. Just throw it out. See what happens.
Yeah, might as well. Well, there is a lot of gunk on the field that BetBoom have to deal with, and it's going to get worse. Tombstone on death for the Undying. He's level 20. And Satanic just casually walked up,
that was
took
easy.
the range barracks and backed away. Now the tier 3 is going to fall. There's just too much going on. They can't seem to find any openings. Okay, there's the skewer. There's the RP. Miro drops it immediately.
The Sniper's dead,
Again, the damage is not the best because the Sniper is still dead. They're slowing down this Lycan. Got the anchor on him. Yep, they're trying to keep him out, but there goes the Tombstone. That picks him up. Kiritich gets broken, takes a ton of damage in that window. Now he's got to reset. Got to deal with the Tombstone as well. PARIVISION will let them have...
Ward's bottom. There's just no stop on all 3 of these lanes right now. They're just going to rat their way to victory.
At this rate, yeah.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
9 class sneaking in with his Glimmer Cape. He is spotted, though. Nice catch. That should be a pick, but no one's going to go in. Chains on 2 with the Shivas on both supports. Katomi getting low while the Terrorblade goes after GPK. GPK trying to push himself away, but now it's Kiritich's problem. The damage just surmounting. It's too much for them to be able to handle. Satanic's just marching forward and beating them all to a pulp. The Ravage finally gets used with the buyback used from Save. They don't have anything else. It's just Kiritich and Save trying to hold the game together, hold the series up. Satanic goes into the fountain and will die to the fountain. It wasn't saved. It wasn't Kiritich. It was the fountain that will provide the damage. But with a buyback being used, it is still a bad position for BetBoom with no buybacks on the rest of their heroes. It is just going to be a march down mid. PARIVISION will close this series out a 3-0 style. They are just too damn good.